Hello, my friends. And right away, I want to start with the fact that Macron has once again made a lot of very loud statements.
And we're supporting Ukraine, doing everything we can to help it defeat Russia. Because, let me put it very simply, there can be no lasting peace. If there is no sovereignty and no return to the internationally recognized borders, and that includes Crimea. But it's up to the Ukrainians to decide, it's up to them to negotiate. It's their country after all. Yes, and you're right to say so, it's theirs, it's their country. It's Ukraine's internationally recognized borders. But my point is that there can be no lasting peace and security if it's not the result of negotiations led by the Ukrainians.
Everything is fine, but only Germany yesterday once again voted against the transfer of very important long-range missiles to Ukraine. So, unfortunately, words don't match actions, and there is still a shortage of equipment. Okay, now let's briefly look at the situation near Russia. Here, according to the latest reports from Russian correspondents, the Russian Volunteer Corps landed a landing force in the settlement of Kozenka, and battles are raging there.
In the area of the village of Kazinka, the enemy landed troops from a helicopter. Battles are going on, the enemy is being destroyed, work is underway.
Overall, we are waiting to see how events will unfold, but for now, attempts to break through to Russian territory continue unabated.
Our valiant air defense officers are not to blame for the daring landing of the enemy from helicopters near the village of Kazinka, Belgorod region. Comrades, do not scold them in the comments. They clearly went at an ultra-low altitude, as they did for a long time near Rabotino on the Zaporozhye front to strike. Now the Ukrainian boobies will be covered by artillery and they will all die. The enemy landed troops from helicopters in the area of the village of Kazinka, fierce fighting is underway. This is reported by fighters from the scene. Fighting also continues in the Spodariashine area. The enemy is pulling forces and equipment from the Sumy and Kharkiv regions.
Additionally, the Russian occupation forces have announced that from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. there will be a corridor for evacuation from the territory specified on the map.
The Russian Volunteer Corps and the Freedom of Russia Legion announced a humanitarian corridor for civilians. Starting tomorrow, they are going to carry out a cleanup in the border areas of the Russian Federation, in the Belgorod and Kursk regions. This corridor will last from today from 9 p.m. to tomorrow, 7 a.m. After that, we launch a massive attack on Putin's military in the settlements indicated on the map, the Legionnaires write.
Many Russian war correspondents are refusing to believe what is happening and are in a state of denial. But the truth cannot be hidden anymore. So people have started evacuating en masse and are filming videos showing long lines at gas stations as everyone tries to leave.
Заехали на заправку, сейчас вот наши вот стоят машина, и вот еще люди стоят. Ну вот, как видим, машин много едет, уезжают, вот едут друг за другом машины, в принципе здесь все видно. Вот. Да, я вот семью свою забираю. Нет, там открыто было. Ну вот так. Человек подошел, интересуется, вот на заправке. Ну, машин хватает, едут. Ну, в принципе, тут все видно. Продолжают ехать. Заправка, очередь. В принципе. Люди уезжают. Вон еще едут. Это все с драйвером.
Now, let's turn to the situation along the front line, starting with the Kupiansk direction. So the occupiers haven't achieved any success in the Tabaivka area, and today all offensive actions have ceased once again. Only shelling is being reported in this direction. In the Svatovo direction, the occupiers have also halted offensive actions towards Stelmachivka, and all previous attacks have been unsuccessful. Therefore, the front line remains unchanged, with minimal shelling continuing today. In the Crimea direction, the occupiers have increased their activity over the past day. So 8 assaults have been recorded here, with battles occurring in the areas of Terny and Yampolivka. Shelling also continues, but the Ukrainian forces repel all attacks and the front line remains unchanged. In the Sivert direction, the occupiers also conducted 8 assaults in the areas of Bilogorivka and Rozdolivka. Shelling is also reported along the entire front line, so we await the outcome of the new Russian attacks, but all previous attempts have been unsuccessful. In the Bakhmut direction, the occupiers conducted 5 assaults in the areas of Bogdanivka, Ivanivska and Klishchiivka. So battles near Chasiv Yar have ceased. The Ukrainian forces confidently report that they have managed to stabilize the situation.
Little is written about our direction. So, we have closed the approaches to Chasiv Yar, but they are dismantling the city with KABs consistently. And they will dismantle, unfortunately, there will be complete ruins. However, we do not allow them to advance to the ruins and will not allow them to advance for a long time.
In the Avdiivka direction, 18 assaults have been recorded in the areas of Berdichi, Orlivka and Tonenka. However, they haven't achieved any success. Despite the intense battles, the Ukrainian forces maintain their defense and the Russians fail to fully capture these settlements. Further south, battles are ongoing for Pervomaiske, and it's reported that fighting has begun near Vodane. So it seems that the occupiers are attempting to create some encirclement for Pervomaiske by breaking through the fields. So we await the outcome of the new attacks. In the Marinka direction, the occupiers have also conducted 18 assaults, and the main battles continue on the outskirts of Krasnohorivka. So they are attempting to break through to Georgiivka, and the situation in Novomykhailivka is very complex. The occupiers constantly penetrate the village, and the Ukrainian forces have to destroy all groupings, but the front line remains unchanged as before. In the direction of Vuhledar, the occupiers continue their offensive actions towards Staromayorsk, but they haven't achieved any success and the front line remains unchanged over the day, so shelling continues as usual. In the Zaporizhia direction, the occupiers persist in their assaults on Robotine, and in the area of Verbove, they attempt to expand the control territory across the fields. So they conducted 5 assaults in the past day, but they didn't succeed and the front line remains unchanged. In the Kherson direction, shelling of the right bank continues, and the occupiers made an attempt to dislodge the Ukrainian forces from the left bank through an assault. However, they didn't succeed and the front line remains unchanged. Additionally, so friends, you may have noticed that I often share truthful reports from Russian war correspondents, so working specifically in this direction. And today, they reported that a criminal case has been opened against the administrator of the channel for telling the truth.
That day has come. We received a notification from Roskomnadzor that a criminal case had been opened against our channel for discrediting the armed forces of the Russian Federation. The basis is critical publications about General Teplinsky. We were advised to remove the materials that Konashenkov did not like, and then the prosecutor would mitigate the punishment. But, of course, we will not do that. Combat officers of the airborne forces and the headquarters of the Civil War, Dnepr, will not follow the lead of the staff rat. We are only the first swallow. Although now it is clear why the previously respected channels and military correspondents have changed their rhetoric and stopped writing the truth about what is happening at the fronts. We won't stop.
As we can see, it's becoming increasingly difficult to convey the truth to people today, and Putin is trying to suppress anyone who does it. Additionally, the Pentagon stated that with its actions, Russia is increasingly isolating itself from the civilized world.
But what I can tell you is that we know that Russia continues to look to partners like North Korea, like Iran, to seek more weapons in its ongoing war with Ukraine. How effective those are, I just don't have an assessment for you, but it's very clear that Russia has further isolated itself on the world stage, and going to these allies going to these partner countries that Russia seeks relationships with is certainly stands in stark opposition to what the United States has convened, which is the Ukraine Defense Contact Group, which has almost 50 countries and allied nations part of that helping support Ukraine.
Oh, no. So where will all of this lead? For now, we can only speculate. And that's all from me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.